Alright everyone, we got a break in the weather, we got the tune loaded, we're gonna go for a drive, see how this works. Alright, I hope everyone knows I share this with you live as this happens. I don't drive the tunes before I show everything, so I have no idea how the car is going to act when I do this. So, alright, we are connected, and now we're logging. It's idling without me doing anything. It's not wanting to stay running. So as I take my foot off the gas, the IAC is going up. Right there, 160, it's maxed out, and it stalls. I swear I'm about to just disconnect the thing. Good thing is now that I take my foot off the gas, I can actually go like 15 miles an hour, not like 30. The car's not trying to drive me down the road. Alright, man, so how did she do? Pretty good. Car drove very well, went down the road, did a couple short full throttle pulls, felt pretty good, so it should be some good information for Brian, my tuner, to go ahead and figure out what's going on. It's just the idle. The idle's still crazy. But, like I said on my last video, part of resetting the idle air control valve, and what I did initially, what Sparty Nation told me to do, just disconnect it. So I disconnected before and drove around with it unplugged, and I was able to sit there in gear with the car idling. Now granted, the idle was up higher, like around 1,000 RPM for a base, so when I put it in gear with nothing to kind of boost it up a little bit, it dropped down, so it's a little bit harsh putting it in gear at a high RPM like that, but you know, hopefully we'll get this dialed in. Brian's going to get with another tuner friend of his. They're going to look at the IAC, what my motor's doing, maybe try to figure out if there's something in the programming they can do, whatever, but it does, you know, every drive is getting better and better. I actually stopped data logging, went down a really nice long road there's not a lot of people on. I shifted manually to bring this thing right up to 6,000 and shift, because this car by design wants to shift earlier, because the old tune ports at like 4,500 RPM, 5,000, they were done. They were great, like truck engines. You know, truck engines are designed to create like a lot of torque bottom end. So these cars were actually very hard to get off the line stock, especially with the 5.7. Just wanted to annihilate the tires from the get-go. So much torque right off of idle at 600. Now it feels like it's really coming on at about 2,000 RPM, about 1,700 RPM is when it's coming up. So like if I end up getting in a transmission, I do like a 1,500 stall converter, it'll dial this car in like perfect. So and I might even have to change the stall converter with this cam. I don't know, maybe it's just locked up and that's why it's dying so quickly. It might just be all with my torque converter. I don't know enough about how everything's going to interact with each other, but the car did great. Like I said, we just have to dial in the idle. If I have to disconnect the IAC and we just go manual with it, it is what it is. But I mean, it's running and it's doing really, really well. So, and that being said, I got somebody that watched the video and made the most absurd comment ever, because he's got the fix for my car. Of course, you know what it is, right? LS swap, because these engines are shit. These engines are junk and you'll never get it running. Wow, that's amazing, because I had one of these brand new in 1992. Had it for about 5 years and never had any problems out of the car. So I don't think it was junk, even with all that crap emissions on it. And since when did the small block Chevy become junk? Now in 93, the predecessor to this car, the LT1 that car had, not the LT1 that my 17 Camaro has. The LT1 in the 93, the same engine they put in the Impala SS, was a bit problematic. They had a problem with the optical ignition system on the front, water pump leaks getting into that, and it wasn't that great of a design. And then the LS came out and is proven to be bulletproof. And I love the LS. I basically have 3 of them. My RV, the reason I got that, the Chevy, it has the Vortec, which is LS based. Of course, we know we have my SS, that's a LS3. I had the GTO, that's a LS1. I had the Trans Am, that was a LS2. So I have LS engines. That's not what I want to do for this car. That wasn't the whole purpose of this build. I want to keep this car somewhat authentic. Modify it, but keep it authentic, which is why I went with the first TPI, because it looks like a tuned port. So when you open the hood, you still get that 80s, 90s feel of the tuned port. It's just a beautiful setup. And I get way less money in the tuned port setup, injectors, distributor and that, the headers, the exhaust system, and heads, and a cam. That's all we've done to this thing. We got heads, camshaft, timing chain, some valve covers, and an LS. I mean, I'm pretty sure anybody's ever thought about this if you price them around. For one that's got even a good amount of miles on it, it's going to cost you like $6,000 to $7,000. There's a lot involved in the swap. There's a good channel, LSX, Matt, Lima Sierra X-Ray, Matt. He's got a 3rd gen that he LS swapped, but he actually used like a truck engine, kind of like what my RV has, so it wasn't like the true LS, but it's a good channel. He's got a lot of information on doing this kind of swap, and it's not the easiest thing in the world. I mean, you're talking like about $1,000 or so, at least, like Hawks Motorsports has conversion kits to help with the motor mounts. You have to change out the oil pan. You know, you're going to have to upgrade your fuel pump. Those cars run at a much higher pressure than what this can handle. Then you have analog gauges, so you need converters to try to like feed a signal to the computer and to the dashboard. So it's not like it's not like a small block shed. You just don't drop it in, hit the key and go. No, there's a lot to it. And I mean, you're probably easy 10 grand into a swap, and I don't have anywhere near that into what I did here. Nowhere near that. I don't even have anywhere near the 6,000 that it would cost me for an LS and a transmission. Plus, and then I don't think the drive shaft's going to match up. It's a totally different transmission. The transmission mount's got to get changed, and I believe the drive shaft's going to have to get changed as well. It's a big deal. This rear end in this car is not going to handle the power of an LS. It's not going to handle 400 horse. It's going to have to be replaced as well. It's a very expensive endeavor. Is it sweet? Yes, absolutely. It looks great. Is it for me? No. That's not what I wanted for this car. The guy that I bought this car from, was going to LS swap it. He decided not to because it was a really clean car. I kind of feel bad on what I did to it, but what I did is not unreversible. Like his swap, because it was a manual transmission, he said he was going to have to cut the transmission tunnel to fit that, and which I'm not sure if that's, I think you can get away without doing that, but he just really didn't want to hack this car up, and I didn't want to either. Yes, I made some changes and all that, but I still have all the original heads and tune ports. I don't know, but anyhow, I mean, I can reverse what I did to this car, but it's what I want to just kind of keep as somewhat original. So freaking tell me that this engine's junk and I'm always going to have problems getting it. Dude, I just got the car running. We're in the process of freaking tuning it. You got to give it some time, man. You're just not going to hit the key and go. We've made big changes to this car. So, you know, it'd be one thing if I could take it to a dyno. The guy could put in a dyno like what I did with my 17 Camaro. He could put it on there, run it, and do it on the spot. Take it out for a drive and make the changes and then verify it on the dyno on the spot. When you're doing this remotely, it takes weeks because, you know, Brian has a full-time job also. On top of it, he does the tuning on the side. But I mean, he's been in the third gen game a really long time. His name is all over the third gen forums going back many years, so he knows what he's doing with these cars. I have total confidence in what he's doing. You know, just every car's different, man. We've got the first TPI on here. We've got a big cam, so it's going to take time to tweak it. This engine's not a bad engine. Come on, man. Jeez. Anyhow, I sent the data log off. Hopefully, maybe I get the next tune in before this Hurricane Laura rolls in, and we'll have something else for you, so hang tight. Alright, we got the next tune loaded in here. So let's see what she's going to do. Oh, no way. Well, it's idling on its own. All right, put on the AC. Still idling. Damn it. Well, it started out good. Looks like my target airflow is in red. I'm not sure what that means. Right here, I got 13.91. The IAC's at, see, when I take my foot off the gas, it goes to 160. Alright, let's go for a drive, see how she does. I gotta get my hair cut anyhow, so for a little bit of a ride. Let's get a little wrong. Sounds good. AC is cold, so yeah, that tells me that whatever I screwed on that adapter just let like all the friggin' air out. So yeah, man, feels good. She's running good, man. Like, no misfire, sputters, nothing, man. It's actually nice to take this car out on just like a nice little drive like this. Oh, all right. Oh shit. Pop. Speed trap. Hopefully he likes third gens. He ain't moving. Woo. Yeah. Alright guys, let me get my hair cut. You gotta hear this, man. Yeah, I did it, man. I did this. I built this engine. Hell yeah. Not like some bigger channels that just pay people. I will not call 717 out, but yeah, buddy. There we go, man. Getting better every tune. Every tune we're getting it dialed in. All right, I'm gonna need to wrap up the video. I want to show you something in the RV real quick. Alright, I have her sitting outside because I have what little bit of sun we have is actually charging the batteries in here. Yeah, the sun's charging batteries. Remember, I have solar on here, so I'm using the sun. I did a test and drew these batteries way down, so I'm using the sun. See what we can get. See right here, you can see it's charging. And this is one of the things I added. This is a shunt monitor. So this accurately tells me how much battery I got left. See, the cool stuff you learn when you do this. There's a big thing on the negative terminal and it measures the current, and I also have to program this to how much battery I have so it knows exactly how much I got. Because see, the problem I had with this, my solar charge controller, is that, see, it thinks my batteries are fully charged. It says 100%, and that's not right. Oh no, it's raining. Hold on, I gotta get the dog. Well, thanks a lot, Weather Channel. You didn't say anything about rain, or I wouldn't have had the RV sitting outside to get wet. Thanks a lot. And I have a little dog that's blind, and I gotta get him. So, the last time we went camping, we actually had this thing packed because we were gone for a week, and I noticed that the bottom of the fridge wasn't very cold, so I added a little scroll fan here. Hooked it to the existing fans here, and this will help push some air down. And then the couple times when we went camping, it actually even worked in the Keys. The 2 times we, or yeah, the 2 times we went camping in Alabama, we were like up in the mountains. We had no cell service, so I added a cell booster right here. It's got an antenna here, and I have a magnetic mount on top of the mirror out there that I put that antenna on. And then if you guys see this funny looking thing dangling down, this is a transmittal antenna, because most of the time we're sitting here doing stuff. So as long as you're within 3 feet of that antenna, it boosts your range of your cell phone, and it works. It works really good. So so that's it. I mean, I have nothing else planned modification wise to do this RV, and this is a good reason, good thing why we're doing short trips, to learn this stuff and figure it out while we're still home and have access to a lot of tools and things like that. So I added the WeBoost range extender. I added the shunt, so now I know exactly where I'm at with my batteries, and we had a little fan in here. So other than that, yeah, I have nothing else planned for this vehicle as far as it's 100%, unless something breaks. Fingers crossed it doesn't. I'm good to go. I got my solar, I got lithium, I got the inverter. We got everything. I was just freaking out because I would charge the battery. No sooner would I unplug it, and after a couple hours it was showing like 80-something%. I'm like, how does 340 amp hour lithium batteries die that quick? And then I realized that there was no setting. This thing didn't know I have over 400 amp hours of battery, but the shunt does. So there we go. That's pretty cool. And like it says right now, it knows it's charging, and it knows there's current coming in. See, from the sun right now, I get 7.4 amps coming in. So pretty cool. Let me see what if it reads amps coming in. Yeah, it actually gives me a reading of amps. Yeah, see, I mean, I don't know. Honestly, what I really wanted to know is just how much actual battery life I had. So there we have it, and it stopped raining. Okay, cool. So there's the update on the RV. See, that was painless. That was quick. Alright, so there we have it, man. The car is getting better with every drive, every tune. We're getting it tweaked in. I just sent that data log off to Brian, and he's still waiting to hear from his friend. He's going to check out and see what the IAC is doing, but whatever he did, it worked pretty good. As soon as I hit the key, this thing fired up. It didn't stall until I turned on the AC, so it's a step in the right direction. We can get it to run with the AC on. That'll really be phenomenal. I'd really rather have it work than unplugging it. But this is just the growing pains that happens when you tune a car. I can't remember because it's been a while, but I remember when 717 was doing his yellow Corvette, and he had Andy doing a lot of work to it. They had a lot of problems. There's a lot of growing pains when you're doing stuff like this. You're changing parts, and then the computer's got to know all that stuff. So, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up there. I just want to give my thoughts and prayers to everybody in Louisiana, Texas, or anybody in the path of this Hurricane Laura. This thing turned to be a monster. I've heard conflicting reports of it possibly being a Category 5 when it hit. I saw some of Gavin's reports. It's just a 6. I saw he posted some stuff on Instagram about the storm coming, so I wish him the best, man. I really hate to see any of his cars get damaged and that stuff. I think it's going to weaken pretty good by the time it gets that far inland, but I mean, there's still a lot of people in the path of this, so I'm not sure if anybody of my subscribers or viewers are from that area. You're probably not going to be watching this. I know you're going to be busy with cleanup and stuff like that, but man, I really feel for you as a person that lives in a hurricane zone. I know what it's like, that anticipation. First, that storm was kind of heading towards me, my way. A year or two ago, we had Hurricane Michael come very close to where I was at. Luckily, I brushed through with nothing on that one somehow, but, I know what it's like. I've grown up in Florida. I was down in Clearwater when Andrew hit. That was a massive storm, did a lot of damage, and it even freaked us out because it damaged Miami and it came up towards my way. Luckily, it didn't get hit then either, so I've been really lucky, and hopefully it all holds true. But yeah, thoughts and prayers to everybody, man. I hope everybody's okay and doing well after that. So, thank you everyone for watching. Do appreciate the support. If you haven't subscribed, please do. Please help me grow the channel. The bigger the channel gets, we can do more and more stuff, and we can just do better activities and stuff like that. And we're going to get this car dialed in, and we're going to do some shows. Hopefully Camaro Fest 2021. All right, guys, we'll see you then. Thanks for watching. Hopefully we'll see you in the next one.
Mofo, where are you? Sorry. You videotaping?
Yeah, I'm videotaping.
Hey, don't post me in your videos.
Well, good.
At 11:18, the item is currently in transit to the destination. Maybe my plan will be
Tomorrow.
tomorrow. It's gonna be dead.
The carrier already left. He's already been delivered the mail.